Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up to date, we've got an e-commerce site for sale in the publishing niche. Created in 2012, this business makes $1,766 per month net profit, and the listing number for this site is 40760. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Kat.
Hey, no worries.
So before we dive into the questions here, just to give a quick summary for everyone out there listening in, as I mentioned, it was built in 2012, has a monthly revenue of $2,970 with expenses sitting at $1,204 and a net profit of $1,766, and that is over a 6-month average. With the sale of the website, it also includes obviously the domain, the site content files, as well as the email list, and the inventory will be discussed with the potential buyer on a buyer-seller call. So, Kat, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first one, or have you been at the game for a while?
So this site is actually the first site I ever, well, actually, it was the first successful business I started. Now I have a couple more, but this was the first physical product business, creating products and selling them. So, I learned a lot with this business for sure.
That's excellent. How did you come up with the idea to start this one in particular without, giving away the niche or anything?
The products that I was designing, it was, a high margin product, and a low cost to get started. So that's what kind of brought me into it. And I could bring the sort of the design aspect and really get the right products that I knew people would want to buy. So that was sort of what I brought to it. It was a low barrier to entry for me because I had sort of the design background. And so that's where it kind of started. And, I came from a product background rather than the marketing background. So people just loved the product. And I didn't have to do a lot of marketing, which worked out well for the business. Yeah. The product sort of sold itself, which was great because I didn't really do much as far as marketing went. So that was pretty awesome. So like the first year we did, and it was just me. And so it was 150,000 and I barely, I didn't spend any money on traffic or anything.
Wow, that's amazing. So for someone looking at this business, and let's say they're not very familiar with e-commerce, and maybe they're new to online business in general, and they're looking at this as kind of their first foray into it, could you just briefly describe in a few sentences how this business makes money?
So it's a Shopify store, which is just an e-commerce platform. People will come onto the site, they will buy the product, and the product will be automatically fulfilled from a warehouse. So it's a third-party fulfillment agency. So they sync in with the store, and it gets shipped out automatically to the customer. And there's someone in place to deal with any customer service inquiries that we get. But it's pretty much hands-off as far as, dealing with, the fulfillment or customers or that sort of thing. And as far as inventory, that can all be done online also.
So you got a couple other businesses going, and this is your baby, if you will. Why are you selling the business? Why not keep it and grow it?
For the past year, I've told myself I should just keep it and grow it because, last year it did 96 profit. But I have another business that actually won the Shopify Build a Business Award, and I have another business apart from that. So I just don't have the personal bandwidth to do it. And even though I've told myself if I didn't do anything with it, a few months ago, then I was going to have to sell it because the site has a lot of potential. And I know that the products kind of have sold themselves because I haven't had to market them that much. So just the fact that I have multiple businesses that I have, again, I don't love marketing, and that's what this business needs. Like the products are there, they just need someone to market them.
Excellent. So what's the plan after the sale then? Are you going to do anything with the money? Are you reinvesting into your other businesses? Or are you going to use it as a way to kind of trot around the world and have a nice vacation?
I think it would just be put in my savings and just be a cushion almost.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, I have another business that I might reinvest a little bit into, but I don't have any great plans for it. Just save for a rainy day.
So when you first began this business, it sounds like the trajectory was pretty good from the start, where the product was just finding customers that seem out of the blue. Could you just like describe those early days? Did you find that customers were coming to you pretty easily when you first started?
Yeah, so the only way I knew how to market was I would post on blogs, I would share it on Facebook, except or I did everything organically, so I didn't again at that point know anything about Facebook marketing or anything like that. So then I would contact with blog owners and they would post it on there, and I got into a lot of gift guides and things like that. So everything was organic, and that's still where people find me is from, people posting blogs and people sharing it, and then, Instagram and people taking pictures and stuff like that. And because the actual product, if it's in your apartment or somewhere, it's very eye-catching and people ask questions. And so I get a lot of people coming back from referrals. So they'll just directly go to the site,
That's
which you can
awesome.
probably see in the Google Analytics.
It's fantastic. Is there anything you learned from this business that you're applying to your other businesses or maybe a future project of yours? Like just one thing that worked really well for you?
I think so. This is a Shopify store. The business that's really doing really well is a Shopify store. I think so. I think I learned a lot of just how to, product photography, how to really sell a product. Is so you have the product picture, and then you also want to have people imagine what it would be like for them to have it. So it's like a lifestyle image. So if it's someone using whatever you're selling, or for my case, it'd be like showing the product in the person's home or their office or stuff like that to get them to really imagine it. Because it's, the first product picture is usually like, okay, this is the product. The next product picture, you want to get people out of the alpha mode of shopping and into like actually imagining what it would be like for them to have it. And so that's why I usually have like product shot, and then I have a lifestyle image, and then I'll have another product shot. So that's kind of what's been working well for us, especially with the other store.
Now, on the flip side, is there anything you did with this business that didn't work, something that failed flat on its face?
I mean, this business has so much potential because the products are unique. Nobody else gets to sell them, but I just didn't market. I just kind of let organic marketing take over. And I think if I had really taken the time to learn about, marketing strategies and things like that for driving traffic, I could have done so much better, but I just didn't have the bandwidth at the time to do it. And it was my first business, so it was like a one person show, and I didn't know about hiring people to do the things and that sort of thing. So I have learned since, but I just didn't apply it.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that you are the only one who could sell this product. Now, is this a product you are sourcing yourself, or are you drop shipping it?
I created the product, and so it gets manufactured, and so nobody else can sell it because it's essentially my designs.
Awesome. That's great. When it comes to traffic, are you still seeing mainly that organic social media coming to your website and direct traffic, or is there any other kind of traffic coming to the website?
It's either from referrals from blogs or direct traffic, or if I send an email out to the list, which I don't do nearly enough, then they'll come from there.
How big is your email list?
It's over 5,000, of which 4,000 plus are actual customers.
That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your earning history here, do you have multiple products that are earning money, or is it just one product?
Multiple products. So I do so I have a Shopify store, and then I also, which is not included in the P&L because it's not consistent, is I do sales with big flash sales sites. But again, it's like a few times a year I'll do those. But I mean, one sales site I did 15,000 this year, and that's just when I email them and I'm like, hey, let's do a sale, and it's essentially drop shipping it to them, so it's a wholesale, but they do deal with the shipping to customers, so they just like, okay, we sold this much. And so last year I did around, 50 to 60,000 with these type of sales with different people, and this year I've done around 20, but again, that's not on the P&L because it's not consistent. Like I said, it's really because this is sort of a third business to me. It's when I get around to being like, hey guys, let's do another sale so I can get that, cash coming in. But since the products are already done and their margins on them are really good, and I usually do them in bulk, that I have stuff in inventory and I just do these sales and I sell a lot, and it's a good influx.
Yeah, it sounds like a really great strategy, especially with that email list. Outside of that, are the earnings pretty stable? It sounds like they've been pretty consistent this year, or are you also having seasonality with this kind of product?
There's definitely been seasonality this year, but it's less to do with the product and more so to do with the fact that I haven't spent any time on the business. So anything that has been done in 2016 is literally organic, and nobody's actually doing the marketing of it. So it's people finding the products, really liking them, and buying them. So I've done a terrible job at marketing, but people still find the product and buy it. So this is from being hands off. Essentially, I just have someone that does customer support, and then every I added a product a couple of months ago, and so every couple of months I'll add another product or something.
It's cool. How often are you adding new products? Is it every other month?
It depends on the product. Usually, I have a series of products that sell really well, but usually it's once every 6 months I'll put a new edition out because it takes a lot of work. But once these are done, it's like an asset essentially. Like one of these has probably made me like 200,000
Yeah,
from one
definitely an
product,
asset.
and a margin. It's like 70 to 80% margin.
Wow, that's really good
So,
margin.
like, if you can like market it a little bit, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so something on like a asset that big, I don't do it every couple months. It's usually like 6 to 8 months. And this year it's been less because I have two other businesses. So I did put, with the help from an illustrator I hired and a couple other people, I put out another one this year, but that was the only one a few months ago.
Now, if you wanted to keep this business, and let's just pretend you were, what would be the least risky thing you'd focus on to grow it?
The least risky, I would just bring on someone to deal, and it wouldn't have to be full time, like someone that did 10 hours a week, even of just focusing on marketing it. So, email lists, like creating offers for people and testing out like the product type. There's a lot of good imagery that can be used with Facebook ads. So, that is like the least risky thing. And I see other similar people in the niche, and they're not selling the same products, but they're selling something that the same person might like, and they're just doing well with that sort of thing.
Now, what would be the most risky thing you would do that would cause the fastest growth for this business? You just threw caution to the wind. You wanted to grow as humanly as possible, or fast as humanly as possible.
Oh, I thought that's what that last question was, because that's what I would do.
Okay. No,
Sorry.
so you do the same thing. That's fine. Yeah, the first question, least risky. The second question is most risky.
The most risky thing, I think the riskiest thing if someone wanted to buy it, was just to assume that it's always going to be organic. I think it's going to come in, but to really like get the ROI and grow the business, just have someone focusing on marketing.
You're not doing any marketing right now?
No.
That's great. For the person that is looking at buying into this business, could you just describe the amount and type of work you're currently doing to maintain the site?
So I have someone that deals with customer support, and that's just if someone has an issue with something that gets shipped out or whatever else, they will respond to them. The fulfillment gets taken care of automatically, but the customer support person will talk to the fulfillment if there's a problem. Since it's on Shopify, to keep on with the existing products, there's really no other work required except making sure that the inventory is in place. And I have a system for like ordering more of that anyway. But to create new products, that would be a little more tricky because you would have to hire someone to do. I don't know how much detail I can go into, Greg, here because it's a little more. Let me see how to answer this. So the amount of work would be okay. Customer service is taken care of, so this is just a couple hours a week. Someone just talks to customers, answers any requests that we get. Ongoing work, I would have someone doing marketing and setting up a system to be setting up these flash sales every 2 months or so, not like I usually do, which is just emailing them when I remember I should probably do that. So having a system for sales every 2 months with different sites, sending out an email every 2 weeks or so with different offers to the email list, and that you could do just get someone on board to deal with that, and then customer support. So, I mean, I don't spend more than an hour every 2 weeks. To be honest, this business has been kind of coasting along for the past year and a half.
It's fantastic. What skills or requirements would you suggest for a buyer to have before they purchased a business like this one?
I think having some experience with e-commerce marketing, again, I keep coming back to the same thing. So with my business that just won this Shopify award, I was a product person and I had a marketing, my partner is a marketer. And so I think the product for this site, they sell, people really like them, they're unique, nobody else sells them. And so the products there, if you just could have some sort of marketing, there's customers' email lists that you can market to. So yeah, I think if someone had some sort of background in marketing or they wanted to learn how to market with an e-commerce site, like they have a product already, they could learn to market with this site, I feel like, because I feel like it would be not that difficult to increase sales significantly.
Now, would you be willing to sign a non-compete, something that says, hey, look, I'm not going to go start the same business that you just bought from me?
Yeah. I mean, I already have another e-commerce business, so I can't sign a non-compete for that.
Right, yeah, of
But I'm not
course.
allowed to go into this same niche and try to sell the same product or anything like that.
Right. How much support would you be willing to offer a buyer, after they purchase the business?
I do 2 hour calls with them, and I'd also be available for 2 months where if they have any email questions, and help with sourcing the next product if they want to move forward with creating the next one. I can help a little with that.
Okay, and obviously the best case scenario here for you and for Empire Flippers is someone comes in and gives full listing price, but would you at all be open to where someone says, hey, look, I'll do 80% up front and 20% after that 2 month period, after the training or some other kind of earn out scenario? Would you be open to that?
I'd be open to it as long as it was at least 80%. I feel like the 6 months at this point, I just want someone to really grow this business, but the 6 month sort of period that it's priced on, I think it's a really good deal for someone because this site has done so much more. It's just they need someone to actually work on it, which
Right,
is
put
kind
life
of
back
amazing.
into it.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a great deal for the right person. So yeah, I would be into that.
Excellent. Before I ask you my final question here, Kat, just to give everyone a quick recap again that's listening out there about the business, it was built in 2012, has a monthly revenue of $2,970, with expenses sitting at $1,204, with a net profit of $1,766. And like we just mentioned, that is over a 6 month average. With the sale of the site, it will include the domain, the content files, the email list of 5,000 people, which 4,000 are customers, as well as the inventory will be discussed with the buyer on a buyer-seller call. So, Kat, my final question for you is, what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
My best pitch. All right. I think this business is ideal for anyone that has wanted to get into e-commerce but doesn't know what to sell or doesn't know of a good product that can sell. I already know that this product sells organically. It sells from people like searching the internet, finding it, and then just buying it. So I know if someone came in and breathed a little life into the marketing side of things, that this is gold because it's done way more revenue in the first 3 years when I actually put some time into it. And then in year three, I started another business and I can see with that other business, like how much the marketing piece, when you have a great product, we won the Build a Business competition. I know that this product could sell a ton and the margins are like 80%. So part of me is like, I feel stupid for selling it, but I spent too long just not putting any time into it because I just don't have the personal bandwidth. So I want whoever takes it over, I will help you succeed with it.
That's a great pitch. That is one hell of a margin.
Yeah.
For those out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're wanting more information, the link will be below the video that would take you to our marketplace listing. And if you're watching this on the actual listing page and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So, Kat, thank you so much for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure.
No worries, Greg. Thanks so much.